Y'all already know what it do. Fifth quarter. I'm muted still. I know I had it on mute, but how am I now? I should be good money now, right? Copy. We ready. Week 16, season 2, playoff race. It's gonna come down to the couple of weeks as it normally does with a couple of games. Um Over here in the AFC, you got Chargers 2, Jets 7, Bills 3, Steelers 6, Jags 4, Raiders 5. In the NFC, you got Cowboys 2, Giants 7, the Bears number 1 seed. Didn't see that coming. I don't even know how many games he got up for the number 1 seed, but we will find out. Falcons and Seahawks 3 and 6, Bucks and Eagles 4 and 5. Interesting matchups if the playoffs ended today. But for some, they really did wish the playoffs ended today because this going to look a whole lot different come week 18, if the final week when it's going into the playoffs. The champ, the Ravens, they only lost 1 game all season. They looking for a repeat, and I'm not going to lie. They on a good road to looking like they're going to accomplish that. But regular season is one half of the battle. You still got to go into the playoffs and get it done. And at that point, we all know a lot of things can go wrong. We aware a lot of things can go right, but all it takes is for 1 or 2 things to go wrong, and that's it, season over. But if I'm the champs, in this case the Ravens, you couldn't ask for a better season that they are having after just winning the bowl. So they're looking like a huge problem right now. But again, there's still some hurdles that's got to be taken care of for him to get in order to that repeat status. And one thing we know, when it comes to playoffs, styles make fights. You may look at one guy play one guy and you see this guy lose to him, or you may beat him and then that same guy lose to somebody else and you be like, man, so styles make fights, believe it or not, that's just what it is. Some people just match up pretty good against other people for what they bring to the table. But if the playoffs ended today, that would be the situation. But playoffs is not starting today, so we're going to get into the standing meantime between time. Yeah, you looking good right now. I mean, I can't take nothing away from you. I mean, at this point, if the people was coming in betting, the Ravens would be high on that list. Hands down. And right away, you see in the AFC North, the champs is 14-1 on a 10-game win streak. I don't even know who they lost to be honest, but they only lost 1 game all season. The Steelers, it's been a tough season for the Steelers. They're 9-6. They're still in the playoffs right now, but 9-6 is not the type of season they would anticipate on having. Way different than what it was last season. Okay, you lost to the Bucks. Copy. Way different than what it was last season, but it's been a two-man race. But not even this season. That's last season. But this season, the Ravens is in a class all by themselves. In AFC South, we got the Jags, Colts, and Texans, all with terrible records. Listen, I played the Steelers last night, and what I was saying on the cast to him was that game against him was their only shot to close me out. I don't know how they left the door open for me to even be in position, because bro could tell you, I was like, we just here to make the most of the opportunity. I don't even know how I even got an opportunity to still be in this division. With all the problems that I've been having with the system, and even when I got my system, even when I had to go get a new system, I still lost some games. But even the games that I lost with the new system, I still felt good about it because it felt refreshing. It felt refreshing to just know that I'm able to do certain things. So I wasn't tripping. a rust. I was rusty. You know what I mean? Everybody morale was low. The red minuses everywhere. But still in all, I still was having fun, even when I was losing. Once I copped the new system, but I remember in the midst of that, I remember the certain somebody, the Jags, had the audacity to open his mouth. Well, here you are, you know, here you are, Jags. You are, and guess what? We play at advance, and we just beat y'all a week ago. So, um, you are now stepping up to the spotlight. We're gonna see, because you definitely believed in kicking us when we was down, and I couldn't understand why you had the nerve to say something as if you was putting in work. You know, yeah, Jags on a 3-game losing streak, and we play Jags next for the second time. So if I was the Jags, I wouldn't have said nothing. Not because of how dare he talk to me or type thing. Not nothing like that. But it was just more or less like, dude, you was 1 game under 500 and you started talking breezy. I mean, I could see if you was putting in work, but you was 1 game under 500 as if like you really was doing something. So I really didn't understand, why you was saying something to me. Like I already knew why. I know why my record is what it is, but what's your reasoning? But it don't matter. You have a chance. Now you have a chance to yeah, I play the Colts too. I played them both. Those are my last 2 games. My game against Pearl last night was they shot. Because if I'd have lost that, then we pretty much dead man walking. And I really didn't even care. I just was determined to play a good game last night, to be honest. That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying to Pearl. Like, if we're gonna go out, we're gonna go out on our sword. You know what I'm saying? We end up winning the game, and now here we are. So Jags, you had a whole lot to say. So now you stepping up. Now you stepping up, and you have a chance to show yourself. Because I kid you not, you won't get this opportunity next season. This is going to be your best shot to make it happen. But yeah, absolutely. I win my last 2 games. It's a wrap. These dudes done left the door open for me to come and take it after me having half the season with a messed up PS5. And then I have somebody come talking to me saying that it's over, I'm done. Meantime, between time, he losing just as much games with me. I mean, just as many games as me. But it's cool. I get it. When you not used to being in certain positions, you start, getting a little crazy in the head. And you start spewing off some words that it's too late to take back. But we're going to see. We dance at advance. So we're going to see what happened now. You done walked in there. You in the spotlight. You asked for it. So now what you going to do with it? AFC East. This division was looking one-sided for a while. But again, I always say it's not how you start, it's how you finish. I always say that because the Bills was taking off early in the season, yeah, especially because we just went upside his head about a week or two ago, so he gonna have to come up with some type of game plan or something because he gonna have problems. But he did that. He jumped out the window and was, I'm not. Listen, even if I even with me, what I'm saying, pulling this out to our eyes, there's nothing for me to cheer about. Like even with me having a messed up system, I still have enough confidence in myself to pull some games out. We did it. You know what I'm saying? We didn't. We lost, but I still felt like I was still competing with some games, but couldn't get it done. But I tell you, even when I was losing with the new PS5, I just still felt a whole lot better. It feels good knowing I can put the ball in receivers, give my receiver a chance or nobody else. So even when I was losing, it just felt good once I caught my new PS5. So I knew we're gonna turn it around and get back to where we need to be. You know. because I lost some games when I got my new PS5. I lost to Cowboys. I lost to Titan. I lost some games. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, nah, it's not about me shutting them up. It's just, I just was saying I couldn't understand why he was going at me and he was under 500. Like I couldn't figure that out. I mean, if he was sitting on like two or three losses and I had like seven, I get it. But even at that time, y'all remember I said, I said, he was only 3 games up, and I said we still had a shot. You know, yeah, bro. He was talking breezy to us, and I'm like, yo, dude, you wasn't even doing nothing. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't understand that, but it's cool. I mean, I know. When I played Pearl yesterday, I'm pretty sure they was counting on that. They was like, yo, we need Pearl to take him out, but Steelers didn't get it done. So now they're gonna have to get it done themselves. But Bills, early part of the season, the Bills was killing in this division, and the second half of the season just ain't like the first. I mean, obviously, as you can see, he's still in first, but man, things got a whole lot closer than what it was, And right now, the Jets is the seventh seed. Him and the Dolphins is tied, but the Jets obviously have the tiebreaker over the Dolphins. But man, I mean, look, we still got 2 weeks left. Who do the Bills play? That's the question. Who do the Bills play? Because the Bills still got to play ball, So things started unraveling for Buffalo, but he's still been having a great season. Just that he ran into a little bump on the road in the second half of the season. Chargers and Raiders both 11-4. Right now, tied for the division. Chargers just lost a big game to the Jets. That game, the Jets needed bad. The Chargers needed that game bad. And this is a tight one. I think they got to play one more time. I could be wrong. I think they play once more. But as you can see, this is coming down to the very end. And with the Chiefs, it's the same story like last season. My guy Dwayne started out good. He was only two games out of the first half of the season, and once again the second half of the season. Listen, first half of the season, is it can the reason why people fall off in the second half of the season because first half of the season you may play against guys who's trying new things out and you're pulling off some wins. This is just me just coming up with different things. But the second half of the season, people know it's time to lock in. It's you see that you're in the playoff hunt or division race, and you start playing a little different ball. And I think that's what the Chiefs might be running into because he's having a mirror season with from first season to second season, two collapses in the second half of the season. So at this point, it's something that's not clicking mentally with KC, and it could be the pressure, right? Because first half of the season, let's be honest, week 3 ain't no pressure. Week 4, no pressure. It's like week 4 we be all right. But when you start getting to that second half of the season, you get late in the season and you start counting them wins and losses, things start feeling a little different. But Chargers and Raiders, it's going to come down to the tail end. We having a photo finish over there. Bears is 13-2. Packers is 8-6. Last season was different than. Hold on, y'all. Um, but the Bears is having a solid season. I mean, look, due to scheduling and things like that, with Fair Sims and stuff like that, he can't control that. But at the end of the day, he making it do what it do. You know, he's making it do what it do. Packers, look, he's just trying to get in. You know, he's just trying to get in. That's all you can do. You know, you just got to get in. You know, it don't matter what the record is. You know, just get in the playoffs. Once you get in the playoffs, anything can happen. You know, we all have seen that numerous times. Just got to get in. The Lions, he fell apart the second half of the season. Corlals, I don't know what's going on with Corlals. Corlals has not been the same player that we've been accustomed to seeing. I don't know what's quite going on with Corlals. So but and the Vikings, I mean, at this point, he's just hoping to get a win, you know. But Bears, he wrapped this division up, and the Packers is just trying to get in, you know. I'm about to say who's Kilgore, Corlals. I mean, it could be, you know what I'm saying. It could be. That's definitely an option. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely an option. Or he just haven't made the adjustment. You know, the Bucks sitting at 12-3, Falcons at 10-4. Now here's what I'll say. Here's what I say about this Falcons. Falcons got a great record. They're 10-4, right? Good record. Looking like they're on their way. Looking like they're on their way to the playoffs. Looking like they're on their way to the playoffs. But I've seen them play the Bucks. Well, I didn't see it, but I've seen the result. He's played the Bucks twice, and both has been major blowouts. So if you're the Falcons, you kind of got to go into the playoffs feeling like we don't want to play the Bucks, right? I mean, don't get me wrong. If you somebody who expects to go deep, you know you're on a collision course with them anyway. But the Falcons right now, I would think, have no type of confidence when it come against this Bucks team, and this is why I say it's not even about beating the team. It's just about competing. You know, you don't have to beat. If you get swept by a team in your division, you know, all right, cool, you got swept, you lost the two games, but losing both of them games by 30 and more is different than losing both games by one score. You get what I'm saying? They both losses, but some losses sting a little more than others. So if I'm looking at this Falcons team and I'm like, man, you kind of got to be feeling like anybody but the Bucks. You know, Carolina blew Mo 7-8. Don't know what quite happened over there in Carolina. I know he started off slow. He got hot, and then he just couldn't keep up the hotness that he had going on. So right now, Carolina Blue Mo and the Panthers are on the outside looking in, and I don't quite think that they're gonna get in. Matter of fact, I know they're not gonna get in because the Packers got 6 losses, and I think the Packers is on the outside looking in. So, but if I know Carolina Blue Mo like I know him, necessary changes will be coming. Yeah, nah, it's all good, bro. Listen, it happens. You know what I'm saying? It happens. Look, at the end of the day, you know, that's what make the league dope, right? Because even if you had a bad season, guess what? There's always next season. You dig? There's always next season. That's the beauty of it. But the one thing I tell a lot of guys is that stop getting caught up in one season. You know, like if you had a bad season, pay attention to the necessary changes you need to make and you know, apply that for next season. And also take these couple of games out. These couple of games that you got for the season, not you, Carolina Blue Mom, I'm just speaking about, you know, other people. The couple of games, turn that off. The couple of games you got left on the season, take them games and use that strategically towards next season. Cause why just give up on it and you ain't got nothing going on? Like obviously you didn't find no rhythm or nothing. Harvey, put it down. Leave it over there. You on this? Go over that. No, no, no. Leave that over there. You didn't find no rhythm, so why not take the time? Like even with me, like I said yesterday, when I was playing against Pearl, me and him, we both was talking like through the controller, and I was saying like for me, this ain't even about me, going hard to try like it's just for me, it's just like just get back to doing what you do more than anything. You know what I'm saying? Because there's other seasons. Like this ain't the last season. We got several more seasons to go. You know, we still got a good 5, 6 seasons to go. You know what I'm saying? So right now it's just about paying attention to what you need, paying attention to what you need to do to get better, and just focus on that. You know, the AGS league. Well, the AGS league we still need like 7 more users and to fill the league. And I wasn't even caring about filling the league. If I could have got it where we had 2 CPU teams, then I was cool with that. You know what I'm saying? But it haven't been no traction on that. You know what I'm saying? So I just left it alone. But that don't mean that it won't happen. But we'll see what happens with that. But in the NFC East, it's been this been a very very interesting year over here. Different than last year. This time last year, the Eagles already had this division wrapped up. The Cowboys, had a wild card spot wrapped up. I believe the Giants and Commanders. Well, the Commanders wasn't out just yet, but he definitely needed some help. But the funny thing is, the Commanders are still out right now again, and the Giants are in. This division, though, listen. At the end of the day, everybody can't get in. Well, correction, everybody won't get in from this division. So yeah, if you the Giants or the Commanders and you don't get in, yeah, it's tough. But you know what? You bounce back and had a better season than you did the season before. And like I said, man, it's about progression, right? It's about you knowing you got better. You came across some new plays or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, you got more comfortable playing defense. You got more comfortable playing offense. Whatever it is, you take that and you apply that and move into next season. But this been a heck of division right here. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, it's still not over. You know what I'm saying? It's still not over. The Giants and Commanders play now. G saying he played the Giants and the Commanders his next 2 games. So this can go a whole lot of different ways. One thing is for certain, um, the Cowboys and Eagles both have an X next to their name. So they are in no matter who win the division. It's the Giants and Commanders that's got to figure it out on their end. But it's coming down to literally the final game of the season. It looked like over there. In the NFC West, Seahawks put a bow on it. They're 12-3. Cardinals 6-8. Similar records to what he had last year. 49ers 5-10. I don't remember his record last year. I think it wasn't too far different from this. But my guy Dre Day, I'm very, very shocked. I'm very, very shocked at the Rams with this record. It kind of makes me feel like the Rams just threw in a towel and just said, we just going. But I don't even know if the Rams even have his pick, though. So I can't even really say, I don't know if I can even use the excuse that maybe he just tanked, and trying to get, that top pick. But I don't even know if the Rams even has his first round pick, to be honest. But Seahawks, they came into this season focused. They didn't play no game. They got the job done. They just trying to get into the playoffs healthy at this point because everything else signed, sealed, delivered. The Colts have the Rams pick. Wow, ain't that something? I mean, I don't know. I feel like if I'm the Rams, if I'm Dre, like why, I don't know. I don't know. Them that pick, you know, I feel like some of y'all is too anxious. Y'all got that trigger finger for trading. Sometimes the best trade is no trade. Can't tell you how many times I've said that. You know, I think some guys just get caught up in the mix and just see what's going on and just can't help themselves. Um, we were just gonna do week 16, and then we're gonna go and do the predictions for week 17. Um, no, I gotta go back. Yeah, I gotta go back to week 15. Week 15. Yeah. Week 15. Last week. Yeah. So we go back to last week, and this was a big loss right here. Starting out, the Falcons took care of the Commanders. I'm sure the Commanders came into that game with a ton of confidence, especially knowing that he needed that game. But the last time I did the fifth quarter and I talked about the standings, I said that tie that the Commanders has is hurting them right now. That tie is hurting them as if it is a loss. Because if you go look at his record, he only got 5 losses and he's still out. But the fact that he has that tie is killing him. You know, like I said, and I said it before, when it first happens, when you get a tie, you don't think that you're like, all right, whatever. It's not a win, but it's not a loss. But then when you find yourself in these type of situations, you now look at that tie as if it is a loss, and that tie is killing the Commanders right now. It's a big time loss for the Commanders, and it's a big time win for the Falcons. Patriots and Dolphins. Look, here's what I say about the Patriots, and I've been saying it. The Patriots, to me, is better than what he's been playing like. Now, the first half of this season, he's a prime example of what I've been talking about. The first half of the season, the Patriots played horrible. I mean, I don't even think he had a win in the first half of the season. The second half of the season, he's been playing better. And that's what I'm talking about. Even though the Patriots is out, if he finish out strong and win these last few games, I'm telling you now, he's going to come into next season with a ton of confidence, and you're going to see a different Patriots user than what you've been seeing. I've been talking about him for a while. For whatever reason, he just haven't figured it out, you know. But this was a big time loss for the Dolphins because as you can see, yeah, Pats can play, bro. I'm telling you, Patriots can play. As you can see, when we did the playoff race, the Dolphins was out, and the Jets now had the 7th seed. So this was a big time loss. And if I know Norm like I know him, he didn't see this one coming at all. You know, he came into this game. He did everything before it was time to play. He booked this win. Trust me, I know Norm booked this win. He got stunned, and this could be the loss to keep him out. Bucks and Saints. What can I say? Saints. They've been losing all season. They continue that in this game. They lose by 19. Jags in Houston. This game wasn't even as close. He was scoring late in the end, but by that time we was already experimenting with different defenses, you know, but we came out, took care of business in this one, you know, and the Jags, like I said, he talked himself, he jumped out the window, and now he got to be able to pull that cord and make sure that parachute come out so he can have a smooth landing. But he ran his mouth, and week 17, we are up for round 2. Eagles and Colts. Eagles blew out the Colts 70-24. I feel like the Eagles scored 70 points. I don't know how many times this season. I've seen them score 70 points a lot, you know. Bears and Packers. This was a big game. Bears pulled this out 38-32. You know, like I said, Bears, to me, I think the Bears is the team that had the best turnaround. You know, most improved team from the first season. Got to go to the Bears. They went from barely getting in as a 7th seed to now they're the number 1 seed. You know, so yeah, that's a big time loss, you know, for the Packers. But Packers is not out of it. He just needs some help, you know. But the interesting thing is when you need help, It's not that you could just sit back and you need teams to lose. You still have to win yourself. So that's what makes it hard because you have to win and you need certain teams to lose. But this is a big time win for the Bears right here. This win this win right here showed why the Bears #1 seed in my opinion. Bills and Chiefs. Buffalo won this one 59-33. Again, second half haven't been going well for the Chiefs in back-to-back seasons. He's going to have to figure it out. Why is it that for 2 seasons in a row now he's playing good in the first half of the season and not the second? And in my opinion, that's not a coincidence. But Buffalo, they've been solid all year, even though they haven't been playing as good as they have in the first half. But they still having a good season, and they're still a dangerous team come playoff time. 49ers and Cardinals. The Niners and Cards, both teams out of the race. So at this point, it was just for pride. And 49ers came out on top 38-23. Raiders and Dolphins. Raiders won this. I said Dolphins. Raiders and Broncos. Raiders won this one 68-56. Snub is just like what I say about the Patriots. The Broncos is a better user than what the record is. I got to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's better than what it is. And I think that, one thing I say about the Broncos is that he always communicate. So he be having a lot going on with work and things like that. And, he be juggling a lot. This is not me making an excuse for him. This is me just, letting it be known. But trust me, if the Broncos is locked in, he's a problem. I'm hoping for his sake, as far as to be able to compete, I'm hoping next season things is a little different for him and he get a chance to really lock in, because I'm telling you, the Broncos is somebody who definitely could challenge in that division for that division title. I know it hasn't showed quite yet, especially this season, because this is his first real season with the team. But Snub is a problem, I'm telling you. And if he get a chance to lock in and he ain't got a lot going on, in his real life, trust me, he's gonna be a problem. But he competed in this one, came up short against the Raiders. Panthers and Rams. Panthers won this one 56. No, his division is very tough, and you can't deny that. And even with the Chiefs got better. Dwayne got better. It's just that Dwayne can't have a second half like he's having the first half. But if anybody familiar with Dwayne, it didn't matter what half the season we was in. Dwayne was getting beat like a drum. Panthers and Rams. Panthers not having a season that they wanted to, but I know he's playing just because that's that competitor in him is going to play to the very end, and he got the job done. Rams having a horrible season, and on top of that, on top of seeing a 1-14 record, I would have said the silver lining is, well, they looking like a top 2 pick or a top 1 pick, depending on what the Vikings do, but they don't even have their first round pick. So if you the Rams, I don't know, man. I don't know what can you do. I don't know how their money looking. I don't know anything. But, man, been a long season for the Rams. Seahawks and Giants. Seahawks, this is a big win right here. Why? Because Giants isn't in the playoffs right now. The Seahawks in the playoffs right now. And the Seahawks just sent a message to the Giants. Should we meet in the playoffs, you're going to have to do better than this. Seahawks quietly been having a strong performance. He won this one 73-49. Jets and Chargers. Biggest win of the season for the Jets right here. Because if he lost this game, the playoffs I ain't going to say that he would have been out. He wouldn't have been out. But he would have been needing some help. And, anytime you get a chance to step up in big moments, you got to get it done. Shout out to the Jets. They got it done. Big time win over a tough Chargers team. They sent their fans home happy. One thing I say about E-Ball, he been running that rock. He's been running that rock with Breece Hall. That's what. Yeah, this was the biggest win of the season. He's been running that ball. If he can get that quarterback to just be consistent over there with the passing game, the Jets gonna be a problem. let's be honest. Anytime you could run the ball like Ebor running that ball with them Jets, and you can get a consistent passing attack, yo, you don't know what to really key in on. But Brees Hall has been running for 2 seasons in a row. I think he might lead the league in yards last year. I could be wrong, but I felt like if he didn't lead the league in yards, he definitely was top three. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he's top three again this year. Jets been playing, man. Listen, anytime you can run that rock, you a problem because when it's weather games and you can't pass and you got to run, you got to rely on the run. Jets got a nice little weapon over there, but right now it's just about getting in. Right now the Jets is the seventh seed, but he's yeah, exactly, bro. That's what I'm saying. He's been doing his thing running that rock. You know, if you could run that ball, um, yeah, now Hall been holding it down. You know, when you can run that ball and you run into them bad weather games, that's an advantage for the team that can run the ball. Because you ain't gonna be able to air that ball out in the air in this Madden with them snowstorms and heavy rain. Nah, not gonna happen. Yeah, that's what's making Philly dangerous too. Because that's what I'm saying. Philly can light you up in the air, and he'll run that rock. And if you can do that, if you can do those two, man, you on to something special. So yeah, this was a big loss for the Chargers because now this tied him for the record with the Raiders, and this win in the Dolphins loss gave the Jets the seventh seed. Steelers and Cowboys, yeah, drop catches in them weather games. That's what I'm saying. If you can run that rock, you on to something big, big time. Steelers and Cowboys, this is a good game. Steelers won this one 49-38. Um, I won't say big win for the Steelers because it's a big win for morale purposes. It's more of a bigger loss for the Cowboys because he's in a tight division race over there. Steelers will make the playoffs. He can't win the division, but the Cowboys have a chance to win his division. And this loss hurt, but he's still right there. So he just got to shake this loss off, bounce back, and forget about this loss and get ready for next week. That's all you can do. The current week that we are at right now, Jets and Pats. Jets won this one 35-24. Jets, back to back, two big time wins. And right now, they holding on to that seventh seed for dear life. But big time win for the Jets because the Patriots, like I said, he's been playing good second half of the season. Oh, you beat the Seahawks. Oh, yeah, you definitely did. Oh, yeah, yeah. You see? Yeah, nah, you are. Yeah, Cowboys. That's what. Yeah, the Cowboys tied with the Eagles for the division race. That's what I said. Like, but that's why I said that loss hurt Dallas more than it helped Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh can't win the division and they're going to make the playoffs. But the Cowboys would have had a one-game lead right now. But he's still in good. He's still in good position. He's still right where he want to be. Saints beat the Vikings. Um. Oh yeah, you're right. He blew the doors off the roof against the Bucks. That's my guy Murph. Vikings. Listen, if you the Vikings and you get blown out by the Saints, I mean, at this point now, you gonna have to just scrap everything and start from scratch. And no disrespect to the Saints, but I'm just saying, like, if you get blown out by the Saints by a team that's not even anywhere near making the playoffs, well, if y'all split, it comes down to y'all. If y'all split and y'all got the same division record, it now goes to the NFC who got the better NFC record. And if y'all tied with the NFC record, then it comes down to points. Something that BAP always talk about. Whoever scored the most points. So first it comes down, if y'all got the same record, it comes down to head to head. If y'all split that, it comes down to best division record. And if y'all got the same division record, it comes down to best NFC record. So I don't know who got the best NFC record right now, but by what I'm seeing from what you're saying, Josh, it looked like the Eagles got the edge. Yeah, it only come down to points though. It only come down to points if y'all both have the same NFC record. So if one of y'all got the better NFC record, points don't even matter. It don't come down. Points is the last resort. Points is what it come down to if all else fails. Um, Bills and Lions. All right. Well then, yeah. You see what I'm saying? Eagles saying we would. So if y'all finish with the same record, Eagles saying he got the better NFC record. Dallas will win the division. Bills beat the Lions. I don't know what happened to my guy Corlow's, man. But he haven't been anywhere near as the competitive Corlow's that we accustomed to seeing. But nevertheless, good one for Buffalo. That's not Buffalo problem. Buffalo just got to come and win the game like they did, and that's what they got done. Dolphins was in the dogfight with the Cardinals, but they won 56-48. Dolphins going to need some help. He going to need the Jets to trip up and lose. But as in right now, he just got to handle his business first, and he got it done this week. Texas and Steelers, biggest win of the year for us. Biggest win of the year for us. We needed this one in a major way. You know, not to knock down the Jags and Colts, but you know when you see your Steelers one of your last three games left, and then you see Jags and Colts, I mean it's like, all right, we got to get the Steelers win. So we showed up, we showed up, man. We played good. It felt good. Like I said, for me, brand new system, brand new controller and everything. Even when I was losing, it just felt good to know that I could just, do certain things. So, man, it just feels good. I'm looking forward to next season, fresh start and everything. I'm looking forward to next season because this season I ain't never have non-losses in the season in any Madden league my entire life since we've been doing this. So this has been a crazy season, but again, they left the door open. So here we are. I know what I gotta do though. I gotta go look at the records though. I gotta go look at the teams that's out of the playoff picture right now, but who has a shot, because the Steelers have 6 losses and the Dolphins has 7 losses. So that loss actually hurt the Steelers too, because I said he'll make the playoffs and I still believe he would, but it's not no walk in the park now, because I don't even know who the Steelers play his last 2 games. And man, I might have spoke too soon. I gotta go and check and see. I'm gonna set this for the Jags. He'll get the win. Colts escape. He beat the Chiefs 30-28. Nice win for the Colts. And again, the Chiefs, it's just been that type of second half of the year for them. Commanders and Giants. This is a big game. This is a very big game right here, because if the let me go look at the standings for a second. I don't want to just keep rambling and I'm off on something. So I'd rather be safe than sorry. So right now, the Jets is the 7th seed. That we know. Right? And the Steelers are no, not the Steelers. Yeah. The Steelers are the 6th seed. So the Steelers is 6th seed and the Jets 7th seed. You got the Dolphins with 7 losses. All right, so that's it. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Ain't nothing else happening. So, in my opinion, it's just the Steelers, Jets, and Dolphins for the final wild card spot. Jets have the tiebreaker over the Dolphins, but Jets got to win. Plain and simple. In the NFC, the 7th seed is the Giants, and the Commanders. So this is what I'm saying. Giants Commanders play. The winner of this game will take over the 7th seed. Oh yeah, by the way, the Giants beat the Commanders already this season. So here's the deal. If the Giants lose to the Commanders, if the Commanders lose to the Giants, he'll be 1 game out, but he'll be 2 games out. Because even if the Giants lose after this and they both have 6 losses, the Giants will have the tiebreaker over the Commanders. So this is a huge game for them teams. And then you got the Packers sitting there with 6 losses. So the Packers, if the Giants win, not the Giants, yeah, that tie is looking like a loss. That tie is looking like a loss right now. If the Commanders beat the Giants, that puts the Commanders in the 7th seed. I don't know if the Packers play the Commanders or the Giants to know who holds the tiebreaker in that scenario, but everybody else is out as well. It's going to come down to those 3. Right now, the Giants is the 7th seed. And that's just what it is, So this game right here is everything. This game right here is everything. And I'm going to look and peek and see who those guys play their last few games. So we in week 16. So week 17 is next week. Packers play the Saints. That's a win for the Saints. Eagles play the Commanders. Oh, that's a very big game. That's a tough game for the Commanders. Giants play the Cardinals. That's a win for the Giants. You don't play Falcons. You play the Saints. Oh, you play Falcons this week? Yeah. But I'm on week 17. In the final week of the season, you got Commanders and Seahawks. That's a tough game for the Seahawks. For the Commanders. And then you have Giants play the Eagles. Another tough game for the Giants. And then you got Packers and Vikings. So the Packers, to me, got the easiest schedule left out of the Giants Commanders. The Giants and Commanders got a brutal few games left. So this is gonna whoever make it, if the Giants or Commanders make it in, they earned it because they got a brutal schedule. Even though the Packers on the outside looking in right now, it's looking like they got the easier out of the 3. And I think that the toughest game the Packers got right now is against the Falcons. He said he played the Falcons this week. Right, he played the Falcons. That's the toughest game he got left. So if you the Giants and Commanders, you looking for the Falcons to beat the Packers because the Packers is right there on them. And that tie, the Commanders is really hurting more than anybody because of that tie. That tie is big time right now. But still in all, the Giants and the Commanders got brutal schedules left. They play, the Giants play Seahawks, Giants play Commanders, Giants play Eagles. It's tough. It's a tough game for them too. But you got to cross that bridge when you get there. Between time, they play now. You let everything else figure itself out after the fact. Meantime, you got to take care of your business. These 2 play. I'm going to check out this game. Hopefully, I'm not tied up at the moment where I get a chance to check it out because, like I said, the Giants already won the first matchup. So we'll see how the second one turn out. But, I get to do a prediction for this one. I'm going to take the Commanders to win this one. The Commanders lost the first one. I'll take them to bounce back and win round 2. Even though I know it's in New York, who knows how the weather will be. But I'm going to take the Commanders to win a close one this one. I'm going to say 35-33. Eagles blow out the Bucks. Look, I'm surprised at this. I can't even begin to tell you. I'm impressed, though, not because the Eagles scored 82 against the Bucks. But he only allowed 35. Remember, my biggest issue with the Eagles was that he was scoring 70 points, but he was giving up 50. 35 points to an opponent like the Bucks, that's pretty good. You understand what I'm saying? That's pretty good. So I'm impressed with the Eagles, what they did in this one. This is a big time win right here. And this sent a message to the Bucks because you got to remember, the Eagles is the same team that last year, I think they got eliminated by the Bucks. I could be wrong. I think the Bucks. Yeah, well, that's yeah. There you go. I've been talking about the defense. I'm like, because other than that, you've been looking like a mirrored image from season one. You scoring 70, but you're giving up 51, 49. Packers. All right, cool. Packers eliminated you, but yeah, the Eagles defense. Listen, if they defense play like this, they're going to be a serious problem for anybody they play because they scoring, and scoring has not been a problem for them at all. But man, this is a big time win for the Eagles. I don't know what happened in this game. I didn't see the game, but yeah, I know. He said it. He told me the Packers is who beat the Eagles. But man, only to be outdone by his NFC East division rival, the Cowboys. They scored one more point than the Eagles, and they give up 5 points less. I don't know if the Eagles seen what happened in this Eagles game and got inspired and said, we're going to score more and give up less. But no, I'll go get it. I got it. Huh? Food? Oh, I didn't know. The Eagles, oh, what happened? The Eagles took care of business against the Bucks, and then Dallas came and took care of business against the Seahawks. And I gotta say, this one too, I'm impressed with the Cowboys in this one, man, because Josh is another one of them guys that was talking about his defense. I mean, I said I would get it. It's cold. It's also cold outside. So the Cowboys, man, I'm impressed. He got the job done. Defense showed up, and he scored a ton of points. So listen, what can you say? The NFC East right now is putting together some nice little situations over there. These are two impressive wins. I can't even take that lightly. Two impressive wins. These two wins right here, to me, is the shocker of the week. And not that they won, but the style and fashion that they won. Titans and Broncos. Don't know if this game will get played. Ravens and Bengals. This game just got played, and I'm here to break the news to you. Come next season, the Bengals is going to be a problem. Don't know if anybody got a chance to check out that game, but for the Bengals to just pick up this team and just play with nothing, like as far when I say nothing, meaning like, you got to remember this Bengals team ain't nothing of his doing. It's him just picking up the controller and he playing against the champ. He get a champ all he could handle. I mean, the Ravens pulled away in the end, but this game was close, and this to me was just a coming out party for the Bengals. I always say it's not always about you losing. A lot of times you can see some things in a loss, and it can be a silver lining. And I'm telling you now, the Bengals is going to be a problem. And I'm familiar with Killer Kev, so he can play. So this ain't me just judging by that. He can definitely ball, but the Bengals is going to be a problem come next season. And this game showed that, despite of what that score say. Trust me when I tell you. Falcons and Packers, look, this is a big game right here, too. Packers need this one. And this is the toughest game the Packers got left. If he win this game, he get a chance to sit back, and not to say that, he still ain't got to take his business, but with the remaining games of Commanders and the Giants that he don't have to deal with, he get a chance to watch them go through some rough some rough hurdles over some rough patches over there. But Falcons, they having a solid season, but I'm just gonna go with the Packers in this one. It's in Lambeau. Falcons a dome team. If it ain't snowing, it's gonna be brick out there. I'm going Packers in this one over the Falcons, and I'm gonna say Packers 41, Falcons 31. Panthers and Chargers. Carolina Blue Mo came up short against the Chargers. He lost 59-34. Just been one of them type of seasons for the Panthers. But if I know Panthers like I know Panthers, he'll bounce back next season with something to say. But Chargers needed this one in a major way because he's deadlocked right now with the Raiders over in the AFC West. Bears and Rams. Bears won this one by 13, 63-50. Rams, it's been like the same thing week to week. Oh, really? So I got to check the Falcons schedule too then. See who the Falcons play. Rams been scoring a lot of points this season, but they haven't been able to stop anybody. That's been their Achilles heel. And it showed again. Then you had Raiders and 49ers. Raiders won this one 77-17 over the 49ers. Let's see. Week 17 is the week that we going to tomorrow. He said the Falcons got to win out. Who do the Falcons play week 17? He plays the Panthers. That's going to be a tough game because even though Carolina Blue Mo is out, he's going to be out to ruin the Falcons season. So that's a tough game for the Falcons. And then the Falcons play the Ravens. But it all depends on which Ravens team show up. Meaning, is this a Ravens team with Lamar dressed in street clothes? Or is this a Ravens team with Lamar on the field? That's the question. Now, of course, I think that if the Ravens have a chance to eliminate the Falcons for playoff contention, and the Ravens know he's playing for an what I call that? What's the word I'm looking for? Nah, it depends though. It depends. If I mean, he might just, spoiler. Listen, if Ravens got a chance to play spoiler, do I think he'll play spoiler? Incentive, right? Thanks, Calm. Do I think he'll play spoiler for incentive? Yeah, I kind of think he would. But then again, I don't know to what expense, right? Because at this point, you playing spoiler, is it worth you risking Lamar getting injured? Or maybe he plays all the starters except Lamar. Who knows? But too far to tell because that's in the final week of the season. I guess it boils down to what Falcons do starting this week against the Packers. That's going to be the telltale right there. What did he do against the Falcons? What he do against the Packers is going to show, and then he plays the Panthers. And then now we get into that territory of what's going to happen. So we're going to go into week 17, the week that we advance to tomorrow, and we're just going to get right to it. You got Lions and Vikings. Both teams are out, but I'll go with Lions in this one. I don't think the Vikings has beaten anybody. It says one win, but I'm pretty sure that was a fair sim win he got, or maybe a force. Who knows? But I'll take Lions in that one. Broncos and Jets. This is gonna be a tough game for the Jets. I ain't gonna hold you, and the Jets need this game, but this is gonna be yeah, he got to get the 7 losses though. I mean, you banking on him losing 3 in a row, and it's possible. Don't get it twisted. It's very possible, but it all starts with the Packers first. But this is a very interesting game right here because The Jets play the Broncos week 17, and week 18, the Jets then play the Bills. Calm plays who this week? Remember, the Bills only got a 2-game lead over the Jets. The Bills play the Bears. So if the Bills lose, that puts him at 6 losses, right? Let's say the Bills lose, that's 6 losses. Let's say the Jets win. Jets still got 7 losses. Well, guess what? These two play each other week 18. So, but before you even get to that, that the Jets must take care of business against the Broncos team. And I'm telling you now, despite what that Broncos record is, if Snub plays this game, it's gonna be a tough game. Now, personally, I'm gonna pick the Jets because he got some nice wins. His last 2 games, he beat the Patriots, who've been having a good second half of the season, and he beat the Chargers, who've been having a good year. So for me, I have no reason not to take the Jets in this one, but I'm telling you now, if the Jets lose, I will not be surprised. This is a dangerous, dangerous game for the Jets before you even get to next week. This is going to be a tough game for the Jets, but I'm going with the Jets against the Broncos, and I'm going to go Jets 37, Broncos 32. 37-32 Jets over the Broncos. Bills and Bears. And again, just like Jets and Broncos, Bills and Bears. Another tough game. If you lose your wife in trouble. Listen, Bears #1 seed right now, but by all means, he doesn't have that #1 seed wrapped up. So he has something to play for. Bills has something to play for. This is going to be a good game right here. It's in Chicago, but Bills is one of them teams that they used to cold, snowy weather, so it's no disadvantage for them. But this is a tough one to call, I'm not going to lie. Because even though the Bills having a tough second half of the season, all in all, I still respect their handle. They still having a good year. I'm actually going to take the Bills to sneak this one out. I'm going to take the Bills in this one. I know the Bears been playing good all year. He's #1 seed, but I don't know. I got a gut feeling Buffalo goes to Chicago and pull this out, especially because Buffalo now know that division lead ain't as comfy as it once was. But give me the Bills and the Bills Mafia traveling into Chicago. I'm going to take Buffalo. There's going to be some points, though. I'm going to take Buffalo to win this 45-42, 3-point win, Bills over the Bears. Packers and Saints, like I said, this is when things change. If the Packers say get business against the Falcons, I got him winning this game against the Saints. Definitely. Give me Packers over the Saints. I'll say 51-28. 51-28, Packers over the Saints. But again, if the Packers lose to the Falcons, this game might be closer than what he would expect, just because that loss to the Falcons is going to hurt. Eagles and Commanders. Big time game for both teams. Big time game for the Eagles for the division. Big time game for the Commanders for wild card. So the Commanders got 2 tough games back to back, and they're both division games. But before you can think about the Eagles, you got to worry about the Giants. So for me, I'm not going to lie. I'm taking the Eagles anyway. I'm about to say it depends on what the Commanders do, but I got to take the Eagles in this one. Eagles is playing some special type of ball right now. So I'm going with Philly over the Commanders in this one. I'm going to say 51-40. 51-40. That might be a lot of points that I'm giving the Commanders, but 51-40, I got Eagles. Bucks and Browns. Bucks just got dismantled to the Eagles. they're gonna come back trying to put up 100 this game. And if they get to play, Brown's got to be ready for the onslaught. I'll take Bucks in this one over the Browns, 58-27. Bengals and Pats. Listen, Patriots, again, my opinion, having a good second half of the season. Bengals, the new user, Killer Kev, he's going to be a problem come next season. Mark my words. I'm taking Bengals in this one, although what he did against the Ravens has nothing to do with this game against the Pats. Remember, styles make fights. But I'm still going to take the Bengals, but I'm gonna take it to be competitive though. Give me Bengals over the Patriots 42-35. Cowboys and Titans. Let me tell you, Jerry, he plays pretty good defense. You know, I gotta give it to him. He plays pretty good defense. Uh, but he's gonna have to score though, because that defense after the Cowboys just putting up 80, I think 83 against the Seahawks. He's coming to this game with a ton of confidence, and the Titans gonna have to really, really come up big to slow down this offense attack from Dallas. Give me Dallas over the Titans, 47-20. Um, Colts and Ravens. I'm taking the champ. How could I not? I'm taking the champ. I got champ winning this one over the Colts. I'm going to say 56-21. Seahawks and Raiders. Big game for the Raiders. And believe it or not, the Seahawks is not out of the number one seed neither. But the Raiders, they got a whole lot to play for. They fighting for that division with the Chargers, and this is a huge game right here. Raiders home. I'm going with the Raiders. Although Seattle will bounce back and play good this year. Yeah, this week 17 schedule is definitely tough. Seahawks going to bounce back and have a much better week than what they did last week against the Cowboys. But Raiders at home, Raiders in the dogfight. I think he just coming to this game with a little bit more hunger than the Seahawks. So I'm taking the Raiders. Raiders 48, Seahawks 40, 41, 48-41. Raiders over the Seahawks. Niners and Rams. Pardon me. Doesn't really matter, honestly. Both teams are struggling. Rams are struggling a whole lot more though. I'll take Niners. I'll take Niners. I don't know. Rams got one win on the season. I don't know what's going on over there. I was going to say maybe he tanking, but he don't even have his draft pick, so that's out of the question. So he just been losing, I'm guessing. So I got to take the 49ers. Give me Niners over the Rams. 53-50. Chiefs and Dolphins. Well, the Chiefs got a chance to ruin somebody's season, being that their season isn't going the way it started out. You know, he got a chance to ruin the Dolphins season. The Dolphins lose this game. Um, I think he's done. I think you could bury the fish. The Dolphins. My bad. You could bury them Dolphins underwater if they lose this game against the Chiefs. Um, which way do I go in this one? I'm actually going to take Miami to win this. Chiefs, they've been having a disappointing second half. They just lost to the Colts. Um, I don't think they're playing with a ton of confidence right now, so I got to go with Miami and Miami's home team. Give Miami in this one 49-39. Giants and Cardinals. Giants get a break in this one. Although the Cardinals one of them teams that if you let him do whatever he want to do, you will find yourself in a pretty competitive match. But I think the Giants came too far to lose to the Cards. You know, even though it's in Arizona, I'm still going to take the G-men. Give me the Giants this week. I'm going to say 45-30. You see what I'm saying about the Steelers? Now, look, I told you the game that the Steelers just lost to the Texans knocked him at 6 losses. The Dolphins have 7 losses. The Jets have 7 losses. If the Steelers lose this game, how many losses did he have? 7 losses. This is a big game for the Steelers. Who do the Steelers play? Hold on. This thing is getting a whole lot. Oh, he played the Browns. So this is it. If you the Dolphins, you want to see. I don't know if the Dolphins played the Steelers this season to know if they got a Pardon me, y'all. Yawning like crazy. I don't know if they played where the North Steelers got the tiebreaker over them, but if you the Dolphins, man, you still got a shot. Not only with the Jets, but the Steelers too. The Steelers, man, he found himself in a position that he didn't find himself in 4 weeks ago. 4 weeks ago, the Steelers was in a totally different position. Now with 6 losses to potentially seven, man, things is getting very, very interesting over here. And the Chargers need this game because they tied with the Raiders right now. So this is a what is that? Oh yeah. So the Chargers Steelers, man, this is a big game right here, yo. Big game. Who am I taking? I ain't gonna lie, man. Steelers they've been up and down this season. I'm going with the Chargers. I mean, I know they in Pittsburgh and everything, but I'm taking the Chargers, man. Steelers haven't been they've been up and down, and more so the second half of the season than the first. Second half of the season, the Steelers have not been looking like the same team. I don't know what quite started going on over there, but they got some things to figure out. And playing against a team like the Chargers, that is not a team that you want to play when you try to figure some things out. So, but I'm gonna take the Chargers in this one. I'm gonna say uh 50, 52-48. 52-48. Chargers over the Steelers. Next we got Texans and Jags. Like I said, Jags, welcome to the spotlight that you put yourself in. You put yourself on Front Street, so here you are. You get a chance to back up what you said. You said it's over. You said there's nothing left. You know, I'm too far out, you said. So here we go. I don't predict my games. I just say who's the favorite. And I will say Texans is favorite in this one over the Jags by 10. Falcons and Panthers. And again, that week 16 game, week 16 matchup with the Falcons and Packers, man, if the Falcons lose that game, and then he got to come in and play Carolina, oh, it's going to get very interesting for ATL. Um, and I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm taking the Panthers to win this game. This will be my upset pick right here. I'm taking Panthers over the Falcons because Panthers is going to play till the wheels fall off. So therefore, I'm taking the Panthers to win this over the Falcons. Oh yeah, I missed that one. I missed that. But but you saying that just goes into what I've always say. One loss sometimes is really like three losses because it carries on. You know, um, everything that I told y'all about momentum and stuff is real. When you winning, when you got win streaks and stuff going on, everybody morale is high, green. Everybody overall is better than what it normally is because the confidence is through the roof. You get you play different. Trust me. When you got a team like that's losing, like the Texans was, everybody in the red. I'm telling you, it affects everything. Old linemen ain't blocking the way they should. Secondary ain't playing the way they should. Receivers ain't catching. I mean, it happens, man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I took the Chargers over the Steelers because Steelers they've been up and down. But yeah, well, put it like this for me. If the Falcons beat the Packers, yeah, that was the big turnaround. If the Falcons beat the Packers in Week 16, I'm taking the Falcons to beat the Panthers. So let me correct myself and say that. If the Falcons lose to the Packers, I got the Falcons losing to the Panthers. Does that make any sense? So that Packers game is going to set the tone. So technically, I can't even really predict this game because the Falcons and Packers didn't play yet. But again, if the Falcons lose to the Packers, I'm taking the Panthers. If the Falcons beat the Packers, I'm taking the Falcons. So remember that I said that. But y'all, we got a lot of different scenarios going on. Um, After we advance, we only have 2 weeks left. This is it, the final push, the final stretch. Some guys get a chance to make a name for themselves right about now, and some guys are going to have to deal with the fact it looked like they might have choked. No matter how you spin it, no matter how you dice this up, it's going to come down to the final week, and we're going to have some going to the playoffs riding high, and we're going to have some riding very, very low on emotion. But that is it for the fifth quarter. We did the recap, we did the standings, and we just did the prediction for week 17. Now, on that note, I will see y'all week 18. I'm out.